Madison Seminary is considered to be one of Ohio's most haunted locations. The location seems to draw in anyone who is the slightest bit interested in the paranormal, and I would even go so far to say that soon this location will be a must go to for anyone who does paranormal investigations. For four investigators, Madison Seminary was the magnet that pulled them together for a 2 night investigation that they would not forget. Luckily for us, they documented their experiences and decided to share them with the world. Now, this is where I come in to let you know if it's worth taking time out of your day to watch, or if it's a pile of steamy mess and you'd be better off playing around with an electrical socket. With that out the way, I'm Melvin, and this is Unexplained Possibilities Reviews Madhouse, a Paranormal Documentary. So, like most of these paranormal docs, the team introduces themselves as they're traveling to their destination, the destination in this case being Madison Seminary. What makes this unique is that the four investigators are from different teams from different areas of the country, and Madison is their destination. The guys consist of J.P. Doyle from Just Paranormal, Alex Bobulinski, aka Alex Bob, from Spectral Wolfpack, Keith Campbell from Wake Paranormal TV, and Steve Brott from South Glens Falls Paranormal. The guys all have years of experience in the field, and the excitement and passion they feel about investigating easily comes through from them to us, the viewer. So at this point, the formula for paranormal documentaries is the team introduces themselves, they go to the location, they have interviews, and then they investigate. This formula holds true for Madhouse, but instead of them interviewing multiple people, they interviewed the owner of Madison Seminary, Adam Kimmel, who also acted as the tour guide. Not only does this work so well because who's going to have more knowledge than him, but it kept things simple and you're not overwhelmed by the information coming at you. The interview with Adam lasts about 15 minutes or so, and then the investigation starts. The investigation was split into 2 nights. Night 1, I would say, was more about getting a feel for the location, mapping out hotspots, and trying to catch the odd EVP or shadow. Night 2 of the investigation is where things get more personal. This is the night where some experimentation was done and what they call solo investigations take place. What that means is the group splits up and each person spends time alone in a room of their choosing, or in this case by random draw. At the start of Night 1 investigation, the team ran into some equipment issues. More specifically, Steve ran into equipment issues, which is interesting since Steve is returning to Madison after investigating the place a few times. After this, evidence was captured that ranged from feeling water drops to seeing a shadow. One EVP capture in particular stood out. I will be getting to that in one moment though. But first, I have to give credit to Keith Campbell, who did the editing for the documentary. Throughout the entire film, the transitions were quick and smooth. There's no jump scare transitions like we see on the show, such as Ghost Adventures. The Madhouse documentary keeps it clean and simple. One of the things I like most are the EVP subtitles and the audio enhancements. The subtitles are big and actually visible. The sound is enhanced enough to where you can make out the words being said, and they match, for the most part, with what the subtitles are saying and leave you with little doubt of what was captured. Many documentaries, including ones by more established teams, fail in regards to audio enhancing and subtitles for captured EVPs. Now, let's go back to that particular EVP capture.
If you can hear us, can you say hear? Yep. I heard it. I got the chills. Can come in this building? Oh my God.
It was at this moment the team realized their attachment follows them wherever they go, whether the building is protected or not. Unfortunately for Steve, this is his first time encountering the entity.
If you noticed, a word was censored, and the guys talk about an attachment. Me as a viewer, I'm wondering, what the heck is this about? They briefly mention the attachment, whatever it may be, and the singular word that's connected to this entity that may have attached itself to one of the guys. This left me curious and expecting answers to questions that formulated in my mind after seeing this. Questions such as, why is this word censored? Who or what is this entity, and how long have you guys been dealing with it? Those answers I never received. And it's a shame because that type of thing draws the audience in. If they were just going to gloss over this, then I feel they should have cut this part out completely. Also, why censor the word? They don't go into detail why the censor was needed. I can only assume it's to keep people from inadvertently giving the entity energy and perhaps even looking it up. I can't say for certain though. I do wish they would have said something about it. This was a missed opportunity, but seeing as though this is an outside entity and not entirely connected with Madison, I can partially understand not addressing it. The rest of Night 1's investigation led to the team capturing more evidence through digital recorders and what I think is a SLS camera and a spirit box. I do wish the team took a moment before starting the investigation to say what equipment they were using and a quick explanation on what the equipment is used for. They don't have to explain the science behind it, but saying what the equipment is and what it does would have been nice. Before we jump into Night 2 of the investigation, the guys decided to have some fun at a candy store. I love little inclusions like these. It gives you a break from the intenseness of the investigation and it offers us some laughs. And I have to say, Steve is a very gutsy guy to eat those disgustingly flavored jelly beans.
Oh,
I got two good ones.
we got a volunteer.
This one might be rotten egg.
You want me to do one at a time or all at the same time?
All at the same time.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Is he really doing it?
True warrior. I don't want to bite this one. I haven't bit yet. Not a single one of those was one of the good flavors. Not a single one.
Now let's go hunt some ghosts.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so Night 2 of the investigation starts with the guys having a quick discussion about their solo lockdown and not being quite comfortable with it. They decided to make changes to the solo lockdowns. After they agree on the changes, JP and Keith leave out of the room to set a few things up, and Alex Bob speaks to Steve about something that just came into his head.
It's all good, man. I understand. Alright, guys. Yeah. I got an idea, Steve. So, to amp the place up tonight, I'm thinking we do a sort of ritual, calling of the corners, maybe even some Ouija board. Maybe do it. Boys, amp it up a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Me and Steve had an idea.
We did.
Okay.
Looks on your face.
I know. I'm nervous.
Well, so last night we had a pretty good session in the basement. It kind of cooled off after that, and we think that if we just kind of amp it a little bit, we'll get
Amp? What does amp mean?
For me, this comes off a bit stagey. I'm not insinuating that it's staged, but that's just how it comes off to me. Also, I can't help but wonder if that red crumb on the table is from a red velvet cake. After doing this four-corner ritual, the investigation gets underway, and this night feels a little more tense than Night 1. Alex also brings in something called the Devil's Toy Box, and, well, Alex can explain.
We have here the Devil's Toy Box, which is basically the inside is all covered with mirrors. So the idea is that some people say it acts like a portal. Others say that, the spirit will get inside there and not be able to get out because the mirrors are all facing each other and it kind of is just trapped in this box. We're going to test it out. We've never really used one before, so...
We're going to put it in the closet.
Put it in the closet, the infamous closet.
I know I said this before, but I really wish they explained the other tools they used like Alex did the Devil's Toy Box. The Night 2 investigation brought out interesting things. Was it due to that ritual? Who knows? But there were noises caught that wasn't present during Night 1. Sarah's room was very active. More EVPs were caught. One of those EVPs was really freaky, by the way. And I'm not going to share that with you. This is just something you have to watch and see for yourself. And you'll know exactly which one I'm talking about. And also, there was a moment where Keith even felt like he was grabbed. Later on during the investigation, Alex and Keith conducted a Ouija board session, and I'm not sure how successful that was.
Startup words on the obelisk was intern and paralysis. Spirits, we haven't got all day. Spirits, don't worry about knocking. Spirits, just come right on in. If so, move the planchette to yes.
I have a sensation like someone's hovering over my back, like almost like reaching their arms around me. It feels like my peripheral vision's getting darker, almost like someone's hovering over me.
Can you move this planchette?
I can feel it like wants to move.
Yeah, it's got tension on it. Who's here with us right now? Can you tell us your name?
Never.
From over there, one of those. Let's say planchette. I thought so. I heard spirit.
It was a lot of noise due to the spirit boxes, and this part came off a little disorienting. While I understand you're using spirit boxes to try and capture something in real time, I think it's best to put them to the side and use a digital recorder when doing Ouija board sessions. Only because it's just so much noise and it's hard to focus on the guys conducting the session and what they're saying. And what's more, Steve was acting quite strange during this Ouija session. In fact, Steve in particular was affected the most during the Night 2 investigation, and JP was the first to see that something was off with him. What I appreciate in the situation is them not screaming, demonic possession, or some other nonsense.
As soon as he got out, all I pictured was running up behind him and slamming that door. Right behind him. Yeah, slamming it closed behind him. Then I walked out and I was still standing there and he's like, come on, let's go. I kept telling him something fell off and he's like, let's go. So we walked down, we went down there. We were down there for a minute and then we were coming back, walking down this hallway. I was looking at the back of him and all I wanted to do was go up behind him and just shove him. I wanted to just go push him for some reason. It's not like he was going to fall down the stairs or anything. There was no reason to push him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not like he was...
Well, it's not your thought anyway.
I just don't get why push him. What does that do?
If we were cool with leaving you in here with the door shut, do you want to?
Kinda.
Yeah, see, that's not good. That's not a good answer.
Yeah, I kinda want to.
Yeah.
The guys were cool and calm throughout, even though Steve was being affected. Eventually, the time for the solos came, and this is one of those things that I have mixed feelings on. For me, it wasn't much happening with the solos, and I almost feel as though some of it should have been cut out. But now that I've said that, it's unfair to think that absolutely nothing happened at all during the solo sessions the guys had. In fact, 2 of the guys ended their solos early. What I'm trying to say here is that it's hard to convey feelings on visual media. So while we're watching and we're just seeing some guys say, oh yeah, I'm a little afraid and this and that, and it might be cold, what might actually be happening is they're feeling like they're being watched, They're not only feeling cold, but shivering cold out of nowhere while another part of the room is hot and steamy, something like that. So it's hard to convey that over, and to us, the viewer, it just makes it seem like they're just walking around and going, ooh, I'm a little scared, when that's not entirely the case. So unfortunately, I don't think they did a good job conveying this over to the viewer during the solos. At the end of the night, the guys briefly went over their solo experiences as well as their thoughts on Madison as a whole. Now, I have to say, coming into this, I had no expectations. I didn't know any of the guys in the documentary, and if it weren't for Just Paranormal mentioning it as a possible Unexplained Possibilities review, I'd probably still not have known about it, which would have been a shame. The documentary is solid. They're not trying to do too much, they're not overly exaggerated, and it feels real. While I did feel that there were some parts that could have been trimmed down or cut out, I never once felt things were moving too slow or overstayed its welcome. The guys had good chemistry together, and their investigation style was refreshing. You're not going to see provocation or demon calling here. This is a more down-to-earth and more simplistic style of investigation. Saying that, while I did enjoy the documentary, there was no real standout memorable moment. Nothing that made me say, oh my god, or stop and rewind on the spot to see it again. This is no fault to the guys either. Spirits at these locations work on their own time and do things when they feel like it. And sometimes explosive moments just don't happen, or they're just not caught on film. So, with that said, on our Crimson Stars rating, I give Madhouse, a paranormal documentary, a 3.5 stars out of 5. It is a solid paranormal documentary, and it's very much worth seeing. However, I can't give it 4 stars because there are no true memorable or standout moments. As much as I enjoyed it, I can't say this is great and a must-see. What I can say is, if you want a straight to the point, no nonsense, solid paranormal documentary, then Madhouse, a paranormal documentary, is for you. It will draw you in and keep your interest, and it's good to watch to pass some time. Now that we're done with the Madhouse review, I think I'm going to move on to the second documentary done by the same guys. That's right, they did a second documentary called The Evil of Nowhere. You can expect my review on that one sometime in the future. With that said, thank you all for watching, and if you're interested in seeing Madhouse, a paranormal documentary, then check the description below for the link that'll take you to it. Also in the description, you'll find links to the investigators from the documentary if you want to see more from them. And while at it, click on the Facebook, Twitter, Reddit, or Instagram links and follow Unexplained Possibilities. Thank you once again for watching, and I will be seeing you next review.